Hello everyone, we are Group 6. Today we will do a presentation about light rail transit system. We choose city Chongqing as our target city due to the serious traffic condition in Chongqing. Our presentation consists of 6 parts. Now let me talk about the first part, the risk analysis and mitigation for you. Here is the overall structure of our project risks. They are divided into 3 stages: design, construction, and operation stage. I will come to the details of this risk's nature. This slide shows the probability scale and risk category. Using the risk score, we can classify the risks into different types. We use different colors to show different types of risks. Here are some risks happening in the design stage. The most important one is defects in design. We can check the drawings carefully before construction stage or select competent architect to mitigate this risk. During the construction stage, delay in obtaining materials or equipment is a very critical risk which can cause total delay of the project. We should establish milestone dates for important materials and monitor the progress of purchasing and transporting carefully. Market condition changes frequently in normal projects. To avoid this problem, we should do sufficient market survey and reserve some capital for this change. Besides, public complaint is a very harmful risk in construction stage, causing loss in huge amount of money and possible termination of the project. We must pay attention and try to figure out solutions in early stage. In operation stage, manpower risk is the most important risk. We should consider this problem early. The rest are all intermediate risks happen in the operation stage. We should also pay attention and mitigate their.
Next, I will talk about the second part, the project detail considerations. To construct and operate the light railway transit system in Chongqing City more smoothly, some detailed considerations related to the project need to be investigated and determined before entering the joint venture with a local partner. To be more specific, the details talked in this chapter include aspects of legal, technical, supply chain, subcontracting, import-export customs, tax, currency, and inflation rate. Take the position of a construction contractor. The laws in China relevant to the construction of infrastructure are important. There are several laws and requirements in this field which are included in the following. Requirements on foreign construction enterprise, requirements on public-private partnership projects which are shown in the figure right, requirements on hiring local and foreign laborers, and requirements on environmental issues. For technical considerations, including environmental issues and safety issues, some of the related laws and regulations are listed. For supply chain considerations, that's to say that every party in the construction needs to be clear about its responsibility, and timely evaluation is needed to find out whether the project is going well. For subcontracting considerations, it's important for a general contractor to choose the subcontractors who is reputable and experienced in this kind of work. In China, the renowned state-owned enterprises may be a good choice. For import-export customs and tax considerations, the relevant laws clearly stipulate the type of tax and amount in China. For currency fluctuation and inflation rate considerations, the stability of Chinese yuan should be considered when determining the minimum acceptable rate of return. Another important concern is the inflation rate in the host country, which will impact the price of goods, labor costs, and so on. To determine this rate will also be beneficial when doing the budget analysis.
Next, I will talk about the checklist for site investigation. For the checklist or site investigation, first we consider the site history, the past usage and function of the land. Historical board locations and information can also be useful. Some site conditions like soil and foundation conditions, hydrology condition, and climates should be invested. Next, we must consider surrounding environments like the existing infrastructure, existing vegetation, and some important buildings nearby. For transport, location, fringe, and impacts are 3 aspects need to be considered. Is the site far away from main road? the capacity of roads and where the transport cause traffic jam. Next, I will talk about cross-cultural differences. Singapore and China have many cross-cultural differences in project management. In Singapore, project manager is an integrator of different processes and units. Different opinions can be surfaced for discussion. However, in Chinese culture, because of the doctrine of mean proposed by Confucian people don't like conflict and always want to address problems in a smooth way. For the management system, project management has low power distance. Project manager is not the boss over all team members, while in Chinese culture, people respect the authority and there are ununique relations between people. This vertical relation may cause problems for success. Next, peer project management is team-based. Everyone plays important roles in the project, while in China, they stress family and kinship relation in doing business. Members of a family are linked by various branches, and only aliens play important roles. Last, project management is task-oriented. People are viewed by their work performance, while in China, project is boss-oriented. The one who makes both happy may have more opportunities.
For the typical PPP structure, it is a complex cooperating system between government, social sponsors, contractors, and an operator. The most important part is to establish the special purpose vertical for the huge LRT project. Not only that, attention should be paid to set up coordinating committee and management team. When it comes to the specific operating mode, design, build, operate, and transfer, namely DBOT mode is adopted. After main contractor win the bids, the EPC contract will be signed with the social sponsor. After construction finish, the experienced operating company will be hired to operate and maintain the LRT line to provide service for the society and make profit for the original social sponsor. When the concession is due, the whole project will be transferred to the government for free. The contractual relationship between the developer and contractors is shown in the chart. As an experienced contractor in Singapore, we propose advanced construction technology and management concept. Thus, we play a role as a managing contractor in the project. During the process of design, construction, and procurement, we are going to be responsible for investment control, progress control, QA and QC, contract management, and coordination. In order to take advantage in the local cheap labor and materials, joint venture is considered to be set up with local suppliers and subcontractors. The common organization breakdown structure starts from the project manager of the SPV. After that, 4 main departments: OM management, design and construction management, finance and loan management, and government relationship management will be established. In our typical project team, more attention has been paid to the project service, namely estimating, risk and change, cost analysis, and setting benchmarking. The idea of value management in construction industry can be applied to the strategic planning of the business improvements in performance on top of delivering best value. As for our PPP project, the initial capital cost is rather high. Thus, it is very necessary to apply the 6-phase value management during our LRT construction.
Then comes to the part of financial structure of this project. Due to the nature of the DBOT contract, the project financing is undertaken by the private sector. First of all, the SPV is to be established, which serves as a project company solely works on the project. With the limited or no recourse to the project sponsors, the shareholders are liable up to the extent of their shareholdings. Generally, the project financing comes from 2 resources: 30% of the equity financing and 70% of debt financing, and the total amount of project financing is about 1 billion Singapore dollars. 20% of the total financing is given by the local developers who have interest and relevant experience in this kind of project, and government also holds 10% of the equity to support the project. For debt financing, it is assumed to be 700 million Singapore dollars. And we assume this comes from 3 parts: commercial loans, export credit agencies, and financial institutions. For commercial loans, the period of loan is expected to be 5 years, and loans comes from the banks in China, such as Bank of China, China Construction Bank, Industry and Commercial Bank of China, etc. Financial support from export credit agencies is also possible, and due to the fact that the project can relieve the key social issues, traffic congestion, it is possible to get support from bilateral or multilateral financial institutions, including Asian development banks and international financing corporations. Thanks for listening.